It's Joe, new Joe, new Joe. Ah, you know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is. Choke no joke. I'm in the building. You already know. Truth be told, all day, every day, even on the holiday. Shout out to Mr. Machiavelli, first in the building. Who else we got in the building? Martin J. Welch in the building. Savannah George is here. Do things in the building. What up? Kareem Smiggity, membership gang in the building. All right. Sean in the building. My fellow Americans, salute in the building. Moderator, his squad here to zap all you suckers. Whack on Wood is here. You already know. Michelle Frizzy's in the building. All right. High Viv is in the building. Showtime Media in the building. DNC in the building. Biggest and Goon in the building. Alexander Gray in the building. Sir Inanity in the building. C. Mary in the building. They coming in. They coming in. Rasan in the building. Ramona here. Shout out to Ramona. Janice in the building. Bruh. Choke no joke. We in the building, man. I hope you're here. I hope you're ready. I hope you hit like. I hope you subscribed. You know what I mean? Javon in the building. They coming in, y'all. They coming in. Choke no joke. Y'all know what it is, man. I got another one for y'all. Now, I'm going to allow y'all to answer this question because it makes no sense at this point, right, to keep disputing that Pac was set up. It makes no sense to keep disputing that Tupac was set up. And after this one, you got to know that Pac was set up, right? But these dudes keep talking. Everybody's contradicting each other. But I'm here to just point out the inconsistencies in their stories. But after tonight, there's not going to be a doubt in your mind that Pac was set up. All right? Let's just hope that the defense can lay out the case properly, you know, for the world to see it. Because everybody that's tuned in over here by now already know that he didn't get beat up because he didn't get beat up. He didn't get murdered or assassinated because he jumped on some gangbanger. It all was a ploy. And if you don't believe me, stick to the show because I'm about to break it down for you one more time again. And I got some other news to cover too, all right? Choke no joke, you already know. You got it locked into the best, all right? Forget all the rest. Let's go.
Choke no joke, yeah. It's choke no joke. Choke no joke, chicken choke no joke. Choke no joke, niggas choke no joke.
How I do it? This is a diss, would be specific. Hit you with a sub, you blacklisted. Her third tour, it's ridiculous. You in the crowd, babysitting. Mad at pics, fans flicking. You got a Billy, they dick licking. Kids your son and dad missing. You stuck in the swamp, results prison. I see your faces, the mad prison. Y'all rats, are you kidding? And if you sign, you have no wisdom. Integrity missing, money mission. The Marley trails in your system. Camel licking, nerves switching. Are y'all kidding? Y'all Virginian. Success, y'all dream sex. Sold a lot of units, but still checks. Squares, Nike, I run with checks. People use Marcy as pets. I move his skin, you on your head. All your tunes are dead. You ugly like your dreads. No bag, I'm on your head. No fag, I'm my shooter. You the glad Duke shooter. You do balls but no hooters. Choke no joke, I am the future with no Malloy. You play with boys, be out here wishing she was a boy. You her decoy, you her bitch. Choke no joke, I am the shit. Yo Cam, get off my dick. Mad Jim, king of the dips. Without you L's, you have no hits. Your last hit was True Life. When he caught you with that right. Yo Big Joe, am I right? Nigga Dame saved your life. And then you crossed him for hoe. Got on stage with hoe. You an actor, you ain't Poe. Joke no joke, you already know. Yo, man, I'm done, man.
Choke no joke. You already know I'm live. YouTube, Instagram. Shout out to everybody in the building. You already know. Shout out to Verse. All right. Shout out to my man Quentin and Verse. Thanks for the cash apps. Much appreciated. All right. That's right. Let's go, Knicks. You know what it is. Let's go, New York. Let's go, New York. Yeah. All right. Y'all see us in the finals, all right? Playoffs is around the corner. You know the All-Star game's about to come up. Knicks, y'all can't be losing no more games, man. Y'all, what's going on, B? I need y'all to finish off in the number one spot. Y'all been slipping these last few days, these last few games. You already know, Janice. Yeah, so Choke no joke, you are tuned in to the best. All right. Forget all the rest. You know, I love how all these dudes now want to come on YouTube when they never had no career in the entertainment business, never worked at a label, never worked at a network, never had a job, never had any job skills. But they get on the YouTube and be talking about the industry like they know what they talking about. And they never worked nowhere in the industry. Ain't never been nobody's manager. Ain't never been nobody's bodyguard. Ain't never been an A&R. Ain't never been a producer. Ain't never been an artist. But they know about the industry. Y'all got to stop listening to that cat with these phony-ass fans. unless they was getting boomed by a rapper. And that don't certify you to be up here acting like you know about the industry because you banged a rapper. You know what I mean? Or a rapper banged you. But it is what it is, man. Let him eat. Let him eat. And y'all niggas coming off the streets acting like y'all know about the industry, like y'all been in the industry, like y'all worked at a label. You know what I'm saying? You ain't work at a label. You wasn't a producer. You wasn't in the studio. You wasn't even running for blunts for these niggas. But you got some nerve to come up here and be acting like you know something. You don't know nothing, man. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. I see you. I'm live on YouTube. Go on my stories, hit the link, and you could come on the screen and join us. So it's a few things that I want to talk about. I don't even want to talk about Homeboy. I'm gonna leave that alone. But you know, yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. It ain't even worth talking about. In new news tonight, if you ain't hear about it, you're about to hear about it now. Congratulations to Mary J. Blige. I guess, and Misa, because they lawsuit has been dismissed. And them being friends for so long, man. I felt like that was I didn't like that lawsuit. But Misa Hilton's lawsuit against Mary J. Blige was dismissed today in court. So, and Mary J. Blige can bank on at least a partial victory now that the lawsuit filed by her former sidekick, Misa Hilton, has been dismissed in New York court. According to the docs, Mary J. Blige and her legal squadron of Lisa Moore and Andrew P. were granted the motion to dismiss the suit Hilton filed back in July 2025 without prejudice. Well, then it may not possibly be all over. All right. Which means Misa Hilton can still pursue sanctions against the megastar singer if she chooses, but her lack of movement after Mary J. Blige labeled the lawsuit frivolous and suggested that there will be she's wait. Yeah, she labeled the joint frivolous because the court took a side swipe at Hilton for filing a lawsuit with inflammatory claims, only to abandon them when the pressure was on, and warned her legal team to heed the message should they refile in the future. Hilton accused Mary J. Blige of tampering with her record label's affairs, including her top client, rapper Vado. But Mary J. Blige fired back that Misa Hilton was operating a phony company. The two were said to be friends for 30 years before the legal battle. And I seen them not too long ago hanging together at the what was it called? Spirit of a Woman, I think it was. Mary J. Blige had that Spirit of a Woman's festival or whatever. And they was just so lovey-dovey, like, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. So this was a shocking, thing to me as well. But and if you didn't know who Misa Hilton is, that's Justin Combs' father, Diddy's first baby mama. So that lawsuit is out the window. I don't know if Misa's going to file again. But I think that's a clean break in their friendship. Will they ever be friends again? Possibly. You know how women are; they forgive each other. Uh, as long as Misa don't file again, I'm sure Mary might reconcile and be her friend again if she played any part of any wrongdoing in this whole thing. But the other thing I want to talk about is getting straight to the Tupac joint. So if you don't recognize that former couple in the picture there, that will be Neckbone from the MOB, the Mall Pyrus, and the Lady of Rage. Back in the day, Lady of Rage and Neckbone were an item from Death Row Records. If you don't know who Neckbone is, that was one of the gang members from the Pyrus, the MOB. One of Suge's main goons, I would say. That would probably be the best way to describe it for those who know a little bit of the story about Death Row. But currently, Neckbone is doing an interview on Vlad. Well, he did an interview on Vlad, and Vlad took a kilo and bagged it up in nickels and just distributing it out in little 5-minute increments, even if you get 5 minutes, right? He's stretching this one, boy. I mean, he put so much baking soda on this interview, like he done turned one brick into three. Hey, it's like every goddamn part that come out is only 4 minutes, 5 minutes, a minute. Like he is stretching this, and you possibly because Neckbone, he ain't really talking too much. He just giving him enough to get his bread, and he, like a Gene Squirrel that just be rambling and rambling and rambling. You ask him one question, and he go for 20 minutes straight. You know what I'm saying? So for him, it's just you ask him a question, real quick answer, cut and dry. He not trying to say too much for the popo to be able to indict him on anything. And he's one of the smarter people that got on Vlad and watch what he say, because he knows going on Vlad will have the police at your door in no time. And you can see in his interview that he is very, 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 very aware of what he say, because he knows that his past could come haunt him, because he know how he was giving it up back in the day. So he's very conscious of his answers, and he's a very intelligent man for that. Take Vlad money and don't say much. Don't be like these other dudes. You start involunteering information that you wasn't asked. You know what I mean? take the man money and run. Now, what he did address, what I've been waiting for, right, is the Trayvon Lane Lakewood Mall incident, the chain incident involving Orlando Anderson and Trayvon, right? Now, I knew that they brought him up there for something, right? To either try to implicate Diddy in this in Tupac's murder, clear pork butt's name, or something to that matter, right? So far, from what I've seen, he's really not. He's not really defending pork butt, but you could. He's not defending him, but he's not throwing him under the bus. Same thing with Suge. He's not really defending Suge too much, but and he's not throwing him under the bus. But even with Suge, you know, he makes sure Suge get his flowers in certain situations because I be seeing, you know, Vlad don't like Suge, so he be trying to make Suge look bad, and in that case, you see Neckbone defend Suge in a lot of situations, not topping him off, not kissing his butt, but just keeping it solid. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the part. This is what I wanted to get to with the part that I seen. I think it was today. When he was asked about the Lakewood Mall situation, right? It was, did he know about a bounty on death row chains, right? And from how I viewed it, no, he didn't know nothing about no bounty on death row chains. Now, he said he had seen Southside Crips hang around Diddy. They've been around Diddy, but he didn't know nothing about no bounty on no death row chain, right? Now, I told y'all, once again, Neckbone wasn't there at the Lakewood Mall when they had the fight. I wasn't there when they had the fight. However, K-Dub was there at the fight, and K-Dub did do an interview, and he did say that the fight at the Lakewood Mall was not over no chain. He said the chain came off in the scuffle, right? Now, if you look at K-Dub's interview, if you look at Keefe D, one of Keefe D's interview, it is clear to me, right? And if you listen to Pork Butt, right, it's clear to me that Trayvon Lane and Baby Lane, I'm going to give the backstory one more time to bring it up to this point with Neckbone's interview. Trayvon Lane, Pork Butt made it quite clear that Trayvon Lane is originally from Long Beach and originally was a Crip, right? Orlando Anderson originally was from Long Beach and was originally a Long Beach Crip. Trayvon and Orlando Anderson knew each other from Long Beach. They both were Crips. According to one of the Keefe D interviews, one of the guys that was with Trayvon, it was Trayvon, K-Dub, and another dude. I can't think of the other dude name. But even that other dude, according to Keefe D, allegedly, he also was a former Crip that turned blood, just like Trayvon Lane moved from Long Beach to Compton and became a Mar Piru and became a blood, right? So when they ran into each other at the Lakewood Mall, it wasn't about Bad Boy. It wasn't about a death row chain. It was because allegedly when Orlando saw Trayvon and they was buddies, homies on the same crip set, whatever, when they seen each other, it was over set tripping allegedly. And set tripping will be going from one set to another set and them beefing over colors, right? So Trayvon runs into Orlando at the Lakewood Mall, right? And Trayvon is no longer a Crip. The other guy, not K-Dub, because K-Dub, I think, has probably always been a Pyru, a Mar Pyru, or Blood, or whatever. But the other guy with them, according to Keefe D's interview, said that the other guy that was with them, he knew his mother, and they lived in his neighborhood, and then he moved, and he I guess apparently turned blood. So when they seen him, it was all over Bloods and Crips, or Pyrus and Crips. It had nothing to do with Diddy. It had nothing to do with the bounty and death row chain, right? And if you listen to K-Dub's interview, K-Dub tells you they never took the chain, right? Now I'm giving you this backstory for you to understand that it is very crystal clear that Tupac was set up if you're listening to what I'm saying. Now, if K-Dub tells you that the fight, and he was there, that the fight wasn't over a chain, and the fight, the chain just came off in the scuffle. Third, they never took Trayvon's chain. Trayvon went home with his death row chain, right? Remember these three facts coming from from K-Dub, because K-Dub was there, right? Now, Neckbone wasn't there. But during this time, allegedly, Neckbone and Trayvon was living together, according to his interview with Vlad. I don't know if they was roommates. I don't know if one guy had a place and they allowed the other guy to live there or whatever. I don't know, right? However, none of that matters. If they say they was living together, they was living together, right? Now, Neckbone states that they had a fight, right? There's no mention of no bounty. He says he believes that he been seeing Southside chilling with Diddy and them. So when they jumped on Trayvon and them, that he felt like, oh, they was tripping because they was hanging out with Diddy or whatever, right? That has never been a part of the story. It's always said that, oh, they jumped on them over a bounty, which, like I said, K-Dub says it was not over no death row chain. He never heard of no bounty. Clearly, Neckbone never heard of no bounty. Suge said it wasn't no bounty. There never was no bounty. We know Paul Button concocted that story as an alibi to make it look justified why Pac took off and ran and attacked Orlando Anderson, right? Instagram, what up? I'm live on YouTube. The link is in my stories if you want to come over here and watch, or you could just stay right there. So with Neckbone interview in this part today, he clearly states he was living with Trayvon Lane at this time. He clearly states, just like K-Dub stated, Trayvon Lane chain was never took. K-Dub said his chain wasn't took. They left the Lakewood Mall after the fight. Trayvon had his chain. Neckbone, living with Trayvon Lane at the time, said Trayvon Lane came home, told him about the fight. Trayvon had his chain. Right? Neckbone said he had no acknowledgement of a bounty. K-Dub said he didn't have no knowledge of a bounty on the death row chain, right? We know that Pork Butt told Frank to lie at the MGM incident and make up a story and say that Orlando Anderson tried to take Pop chain, right? As an alibi to why they had a fight, right? Now, according to history, according to Pork Butt, hundreds of interviews, hundreds of vlogs, he states that Trayvon Lane went over to Tupac and said, that's the guy right there that took my chain, right? We all are clear on this, right? Has anybody heard anything different? Or we are all 100% on the same page, right? That the story was told that Tupac ran and beat up Orlando Anderson because Trayvon Lane went over to him and said, that's the dude that took my chain, right? Now, I told y'all what Suge told me what Trayvon said to Pop, but I'll get to that after this, right? Is there anybody that disagree that the dirty Compton pig, Pork Butt, has not been running with the narrative for years, if not decades, right? It's been 3 decades since this incident happened, right? And the story's always been told that Trayvon Lane whispered to Pac, yo, that's the dude that took my chain. And it's always been that this story around a bounty on death row chains, and the reason why Tupac went and fired on it means jumped on or beat up. That's a West Coast term if you don't understand what I mean. I'm not talking about fired on with a gun. That Pac went and fired on Orlando because Trayvon Lane told him that's the dude that took my chain, right? Now, I say all that to say this. If you don't think Tupac was set up, this is a clear indication to you. If you're a little slow, this will put a little turbo boost on your brain, right? If you got Neckbone and you got K-Dub and you got anybody else out there telling you that Trayvon Lane his chain never got taken, right? Now you got K-Dub walked out of the Lakewood Mall with Orlando, helped him fight, right? And know for a fact his chain never got took. And now, thanks to Vlad, and Neckbone probably gonna get his culo subpoenaed just because he made this statement on Vlad, right? Because now he gave a statement saying that he knows that Trayvon came home with his chain and he was living with him. Vlad know how to line him up for the defense and the prosecution. He's probably going to be now I know the defense is going after him. They definitely going to go after him for to be a witness, because now he just gave a statement saying that Trayvon Lane came home with his chain, right? So here's my thing. If we know for 110% fact by now, right? Because we know that Neckbone was around Trayvon after the Lakewood Mall, right? He know he came home, and he was there the day they jumped on Orlando, right? So he knew when they jumped on Orlando, right, that he never got his chain taken. He knew Trayvon chain never got taken, right? Now, use your brain. I'm not having y'all think my thoughts. Think about it. If you don't think Tupac was set up, right? If you know for a fact that that Trayvon chain never got took, and the people with Death Row story is Tupac jumped on Orlando because Trayvon said, yo, there go the dude that took my chain. And you know for a fact that his chain has never been taken. Why would Trayvon lie and tell Pac that, yo, that's the dude that took my chain and his chain never got took? Let me say that again for those who are just a little bit slower, right? Think about Orlando standing there waiting, right? Keep that in mind. Keep in mind that Tupac never got to see Mike Tyson after the fight because Suge told him, yo, come on, man, we got to go. Keep in mind, them walking out. Remember the MGM Grand video? Them walking out. Orlando standing there waiting, right? And Trayvon goes to Tupac and says, there goes the guy that took my chain, the chain that never been took. Why would he lie to Tupac and say, yo, that's the dude that took my chain when the chain never been taken? That sends Pac off. Jump on Orlando. They all go jump in. They all leave the MGM. We see Orlando standing there with the police, right? And then we see somebody who looks like Reggie come and grab Orlando and walk him right out of there, right? Just was able to take this guy from all the Las Vegas Metro Police Department officers, walk right over there, say something, and was able to walk this guy right out, right? Yes, the guy in the white suit. Now tell me, if Tupac chain never got took, And if the story is, or Trayvon told Pac, yo, that's the dude that took my chain. If we know there was never no bounty on death row chains, and we know that fight wasn't over a chain being taken for a bounty, and it never got took, and Trayvon goes to tell Pac a lie, which sends him off running into a nigga that was his homeboy. Remember, they both was Long Beach Crips. They both was from Long Beach. They both was friends. They both knew each other, right? Before they moved to Compton, they both knew each other. So if Trayvon seen Orlando and wanted to get back from the Lakewood Mall, he would have just rushed him. Why is he going to Tupac as if Tupac is a Buntry, a Neckbone, a Henron, right? The muscle. Why is he running to Tupac, who is not the muscle? He's none of these three dudes who are the muscle. He goes to Tupac and tells Tupac a blatant lie. Yo, that's the guy that took my chain, according to them, right? You don't think that allegedly that was done to be a part of an alibi that Pac ass was going to get killed anyway that night? That was just a reason to have a reason to say that they did it. Now, fast forward. How many times did you see Orlando say that he didn't shoot Tupac? Not that he would, right? Who's going to admit doing that, right? But when you got his let me see, what's the name of the hospital he was in? When you got Orlando, who went to the Sunrise Medical Center to get his shoulder checked out because they kicked his shoulder out of the socket, right? And then you got them saying that they got Orlando at the lobby bar inside the MGM casino at the time of the shooting. That leaves doubt to believe that he was in that white Cadillac. Not to mention that they all say, the eyewitnesses, that the shooter was left-handed. Orlando Anderson is right-handed. Not to mention Corey Edwards saying that the eye in the sky don't lie. Orlando was on camera at the time of the shooting. So, once again, if Trayvon chain was never taken, why would he tell Tupac that? And for Neckbone to say that in 2026, or maybe 2025, if he just, he recorded that a month ago, right? For Neckbone to say that 30 years later, that Trayvon chain never got took, why was Tupac told that just for him to be sent off to go run over and jump on Orlando for a chain that Trayvon still had, or may even have to this day. Now, think about this. Gaddafi said the driver was light-skinned, with a bald head, mustache, it looked like a bitch in the face. Then that dude that came and grabbed Orlando and walked him out of there was light-skinned with a bald head and a mustache. I ain't gonna say the man looked like a bee in the face, but wasn't that same guy that walked Orlando out of there light-skinned with a bald head? Now, let's jump a little bit to Greg Caden, Darren Dupree, and Tim Brennan. How many years later was it? I don't know. Over 10 years later, they do the wrap it up task force, right? Why is Tim Brennan on this task force and he works for Reggie Wright Jr.'s father, Reggie Sr.? Why did the gun, who they saying that was found in the Compton evidence locker, right? I think either Tim Brennan or Bobby Ladd, one of those two, right? They found the gun in the locker and said that this gun was found in Corey Edwards' backyard. It was buried in Corey Edwards' backyard. And the dog sniffed it, dug it up, and was running around the backyard with the with the gun in his mouth. Like, what dog sniffs metal? That smells like a gun. Right? Not meat, not a bone. He smells metal and digs up a gun. And then got the gun in his mouth. A dog ain't picking up too many things, even in walking down the street. A dog can see all types of stuff on the street. How many of y'all dogs just randomly and run around and pick up stuff on the street, yet alone dig up a gun? A gun. And runs around their backyard with a gun, and then somebody, Corey Edwards' pops come out or whatever, and the dog got a gun in his mouth. They call the police. The police come and get the gun. They run the ballistics for the gun, and it's an exact match. It's the gun that killed Tupac. If you don't see that as them trying to plant the evidence on Southside, right? But this is the same gun that allegedly was Fatal's gun, right? When they ran the ballistics, according to Kevin Hackey, right, allegedly, this is the gun they took off Fatal at the House of Blues. He tried to sneak it in when they was going to do a show. The security there was off-duty police. He found the gun, and Reggie stepped up and was like, yo, you can't arrest him. Woo, 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 woo. All right, well, we ain't going to arrest him. We're going to take the gun. We're going to run it. If it come back dirty, he getting arrested. They go, they run the gun. When they go and run the gun, they test the gun for ballistics to see if it's been in any crimes. The gun comes back clean. But now the gun is registered in the system. right? This is in Santa Monica. They take the gun. They give the gun back to Reggie Wright Jr. Instead of Reggie being an honorable dude and giving Fatal back his gun, what does he do? He keeps it. Now, he's in the deposition talking about this. He's been questioned about this gun. They asked him, what did you do with the gun? Oh, man, I don't know, man. Now, I got him saying two different things myself from his channel that I got saved. One time, he says that he took the gun and they went to the Bahamas or somewhere, and before they came back, he took the gun and he threw it in the water. Or he gave it to security and they took the gun and threw it in the water. Then, in the deposition, he tells them under oath, shout out to Ma, I see you. He tells in the deposition that he took the gun and he gave it to his father. And his father took the gun and booked it in the Compton evidence room, put it in the evidence locker. Now, tell me this, y'all. I know none of us are law enforcement. I know none of us have never been police officers. Some of y'all out there, y'all may have. But you telling me, if the Santa Monica Police Department gave you a gun back, which they shouldn't technically have done, because if Fatal wasn't licensed to carry this gun, they should have kept the gun. But being that, some of these police have relationships and some of them are crooked, they gave the gun back to Reggie. Now, remember, at this time, Kevin Hackey is there and he's working undercover for the ATF. So he knows everything about this gun, and I believe him over pork butt any day. He's the one that tells how that gun went into Santa Monica, got tested, and then it was given back to Reggie. Reggie says he threw it in the water, or he gave it to security, they threw it in the water, and then in his deposition, he said he gave it to his father, and his father booked it into the Compton evidence room, and it was in the evidence locker, which turned out later, the gun was found in Corey Edwards' backyard. Tim Brennan or Robin Ladd, one or the other, they was working at the Compton Police Department. They see this gun in the evidence locker. They doing some research or whatever, which Compton has no jurisdiction in Las Vegas to be researching or doing anything on the Tupac case. But let's just say and remember, the Compton PD got shut down and turned into a sheriff's department because they were so dirty. So I can't even go too far to say that Tim Brennan was doing that because he was a part of the Wrap It Up task force looking for Biggie's killer, right? They go in the evidence locker, they doing some research, they see this gun, and they say, oh, a 40 Glock. Tupac was killed with a 40 Glock. Oh, this gun was found in Corey Edwards' house in his backyard. The dog dug it up like a bone and was running around the yard with the gun in his mouth. And somebody seen the dog with the bone. Man, them niggas threw the gun over the fence. Right? Allegedly. Right? So he sees this gun in the evidence locker and he says, hey, Corey Edwards, that's the Southside Crips. Tupac got killed with a 40 Glock. Let's run this gun, right? Take the gun, and they run the gun for ballistics. Now, remember, the gun had already been tested in Santa Monica, right? The gun pops up. Bing! This is a match. This is the gun that killed Tupac. So now they connected the gun that was you. First of all, do you think in your rabbit ass mind that Corey Edwards would have the smoking gun that killed Tupac and bury it in his backyard? After them niggas just drove from Vegas back to Compton with the gun. And this is how you know that's a lie, right? 2 reasons. The gun used in Keefy D, the gun that was used in Vegas, if you believe Keefy D in them story, right? Keefy D said they parked the Cadillac, they put the gun on the tire, right? And then they went to the Monte Carlo hotel. And the next day when they came to the car, the gun was gone. So if they came back, and remember this, when they went to go do the shooting, Corey Edwards wasn't with them, right? According to their stories, T. Brown, Dre, Orlando, and Keefy D in the car. And remember, none of these niggas is light-skinned with a bald head, with a mustache, and look like a bitch in the face, right? But if you want to believe that story, right? After the shoot, they rolled right around the corner. They turned right on Koval, went up to E. Harmon, stopped right there on, what's the name of that street? Audrey, parked right there at the carriage house, literally around the corner from the shooting. 1 block away in the right there on the half block. They didn't even make it to Las Vegas Boulevard. Parked right there in the carriage house, got out the Cadillac and walked 0.8 miles to the Monte Carlo, which is now the Park MGM. Put the gun on the tire and left the car there. And when they came back the next day, the gun was gone. That's documented. Keefy D saying that on Murder Rap. They came back and the gun was gone. So how the hell the gun end up in Corey Edwards' backyard? And you think these dudes shot up these guys in the car and drove 1 block away and made a right and drove a half block and got out and started walking in a white Cadillac? And left the car there and the gun is gone. But somehow, the gun appears up in Corey Edwards' backyard buried and a dog finds it. This is like the stupidest alibi niggas could come up with. A dog dug up the gun and was running around the backyard with it. Right? Oh my God. Getting back to it, right? So now Tim Brennan or Bobby Ladd, one of the two, they find the gun in the Compton's evidence locker because according to Reggie deposition, he gave the gun to his father and his father booked it into the Compton evidence locker. And like I said, none of us are police. here. It may be some watching, right? But how do you get a gun that was tested in Santa Monica Police Department, get the gun back, go to the Bahamas, Mexico, wherever they went. You gave the gun to security. They threw the gun in the water. But then you say you gave the gun to your father. He booked it in the evidence locker. And now Tim Brennan, ironically, or Bobby Ladd, one or the other, find this gun just randomly one day. They're in the evidence. They're in the Compton PD. They're in the evidence locker. Oh, 40 Glock. Tupac got killed with a 40 Glock. Oh, where did they get this gun from? Oh, this gun was booked. Corey Edwards' house. Corey Edwards is a Southside Crip. He was in Vegas the night that Tupac got killed. Let's run the ballistics on this gun. Oh, it's a match. This is the gun that killed Tupac. Really? And then when they send the gun to Vegas, Vegas says, this ain't the gun. So is Vegas incompetent? Or did they have a bad system that it didn't match up the same way that it matched up for the Compton PD? Right? Not to mention that Reggie Wright Jr. called his father the night of the shooting before any investigation was done, and Reggie wasn't at the fight at the MGM. Reggie wasn't in the caravan, but he was able to call his father within the hour of, and he didn't get to see nobody until 3 hours later, and called his father and told him Orlando Anderson just shot Tupac. How did he know that? And Reggie Wright Sr. calls Brad and Tim Brennan and Robbie Ladd, and tell them, oh, Reggie just called me and said that Orlando just shot Tupac. Yo, y'all get ready. The war's coming back to Compton. And then Brennan and Ladd goes and find the 40 Glock that Reggie allegedly threw in the water or got security to throw in the water or gave to his dad to put in the Compton's evidence locker. And they find the same exact gun that was Fatal's gun, according to Kevin Hackey, allegedly, right? Now, seeing all the gun conspiracy, right? Now go back to the Lakewood Mall. Trayvon chain never was took. You got that from Neckbone in 30 years ago in 2025. You got that from K-Dub years ago, more recently, that his chain wasn't took. But for some reason, the story is Trayvon went over to Tupac and said, that's the guy that took my chain. And Tupac went over there defending Trayvon Lane and jumped on Trayvon Lane because this guy took his chain, which you know for a 150% fact right now today is a lie. There was no bounty on death row chains. Trayvon Lane didn't get taped. So why did Trayvon go over to Tupac and tell Tupac that to send Tupac over there to jump on Orlando Anderson to get talked out of wearing his goddamn bulletproof vest, who leaves, goes to the Luxor, changes clothes, goes to Suge House, wants to ride in his car with Frank and the Outlaws, and Suge tell him, no, we got business to discuss. You ride with me. They go and get in a BMW, which has no license plate, right? Which would be easy to identify, right? Frank goes to get in the back of the BMW to be with Pac. And what happens? She'll tell him, no, don't get in my car. We got some business to discuss. Then they drive and they get stopped by bicycle cops. How many of y'all ever got pulled over by bicycle cops? For loud music. These niggas had sirens on their helmets. Pull over. Pull over. Right? Was that a spot check? Yo, they getting ready to come. All right, you free to go. Go drive down from the spot check, allegedly, the bicycle cops. Their next stop is coming up at the light, and everything happens. Now, my question to you and everybody watching, do you think that Tupac was set up? We know Tupac was trying to disassociate himself with Death Row. You done heard that from everybody in his crew. You got Reggie lying about LAPD working off duty for right-way security. We know that's a lie. Why is he even lying about that? We know that Kevin Gaines was in Las Vegas for a special assignment. We know that Kevin Gaines used to also date Sharita Knight. We also know that during the California Love video, Kevin Gaines allegedly got beat up and stripped out there in the desert when they were shooting that video. We got Lowe from OFTB said he saw Perez out in Vegas that weekend. Perez or Mac, one or the other. We seen Orlando get walked out of the MGM Grand by somebody. He wasn't with Keefe D. He wasn't with Corey Edwards. He wasn't with T. Brown. He wasn't with Andre or Big Dre, right? He got walked out by a police officer, and he just walked away with this guy without handcuffs. He never testified. He never filed a police report against them jumping him. He went right over to Sunrise Medical Center for a dislocated shoulder. And went back to the MGM, was at the lobby bar, and once again, don't disregard what Gaddafi said, because rest in peace, he is no longer here with us. The driver was light-skinned with a bald head and a mustache and looked like a beach in the face. Is nobody in Gray Cater's story light-skinned in the car? Not one person. So why do y'all believe that allegedly Death Row didn't set up Tupac to be killed? And possibly Suge. You think about it. I know one thing, none of it makes sense. And thanks to Neckbone going on Vlad and stating that Trayvon Lane chain never got took. Because if Trayvon Lane chain never got took, why would he tell Tupac, yo, that's the dude that took my chain, and send Tupac over there to jump on Orlando to later get killed when the chain never got took? Make sense to anybody? Don't make sense to me, but I smell a setup and a cover-up. But let's see if the defense do their job. All right? Choke no joke, you know what it is. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Like this video. Share it with your people that love Tupac. And let them answer the question. If Trayvon Lane chain never got took, why would he tell Tupac that lie? And send that man over there to his death. Was that done for an alibi? To make it make sense to why he got killed? So everybody out here keeps saying, oh, Tupac went and jumped on the nigga over his chain. He went and fought for the dude's chain. And he shouldn't have jumped on Orlando because Orlando was a real one. Everybody know he was a hitter. Woo-de-woo-de-woo-de-woo-de-woo-de-woo. Yeah, okay. Wake up and smell the coffee, baby. It's Folgers. Choke no joke. You already know. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is.
Jack Brown. You know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is. Never did I think hip-hop go this far. Never did I think I see Diddy behind bars or kills. Penitentiary scars. The Man Act. Is it going too far? Back. Y'all industry rats. Y'all whack. That's 100. On Pyro. You'll be trapped like Pac. The go viral. Gene Saw. The nuts of gyro. At the freak off. And Diddy too. But plug shopper. Freak door stopper. Nigga, you don't know if you a criminal or a cop. But you next to be locked. Ask Keefy D. Telling on TV. You dumb nigga, right? You'll never be me. And I never be you too. Telling on YouTube, sitting on the step, giving up myself. What the fuck I look like? My name G-Dap. Comb legacy doom. Will the bad boy see time like loan? Your extortion fell through. You friended no one like the moon. What did you do? Sat back and watch him get groomed. Only badge in the room. You and wifey drunk the juice. Saw the check for Pac life. And his back right. Guess it's bad boy for life. Or should I say same gang? You the same lane. That did he let hang. And now he chain gang. Damn, you rocked him, fella. Didn't you? For the mozzarella. Did it for Wolf and his mother. D-Ferg and Kurt Burrow. Nah, nigga, you did it cause your ass ain't thorough. And you ain't from the boroughs. Joke, no joke. You know what it is. This one's for the whole earth. You know, when they get disrespectful, I just go to the booth and kick the truth to the young black youth. Joke, no joke. You know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is.
Choke no joke. Make sure y'all get that Tunnel documentary out right now. I'm gonna drop the trailer and I'm gonna drop the link for you. If you want to watch it for free, hit this link. All right, watch it right now. One love.
Choke no joke. Yeah. It's choke no joke. Let's go.
Supreme Bigger Figure, Big Cap, The Warden, The Club King.
The DJ Johnny Walker Red.
MC Frank Jigger, the celebrity's choice. Sean Brophy, sound engineer.
Choke no joke, legendary videographer.
Sterling Cox. I was the head of security.
Alpha Grenier.
My name is V.
Omega.
Big G. Vim Rock from the legendary Naughty by Nature.
I was Peter Ghost, LOX, D-Block.
Tech Smith and Wesson. LB Fan, Mr. Cheeks.
The Cool, the DJ, the Red Alert.
Kid Capri.
The tunnel was a hip-hop nucleus.
It was the epicenter.
It was the domain, the temple.
It was the Mecca.
Nothing was that melting pot of hip hop.
They kept the paradigm going.
It's almost like what Rucker did for street basketball. The tunnel was that of music industry.
My Sunday ritual going to the tunnel was, I'm telling you, your ass better be there.
You just pretty much did push-ups.
We had to drink a couple bottles of Hennessy, go get smoked.
Leave the jewelry and watches at home.
Before you even get to the tunnel, you gotta get on the block.
You started from 11th Avenue, and when you got to that door, the search procedures was no other.
First time I ever heard of take your shoes off, open your mouth was in the tunnel.
It was damn near everything but a full cavity search.
Security at the tunnel was no joke.
The beatdowns did happen.
Some of them, if you had that chain out, that shit was leaving with one of them niggas.
We had a handful of cats. When we were taking you out, they were digging in your pockets.
The code check at the tunnel was crazy because you didn't know if you was gonna get your shit back.
Sometimes the bloops happen where you might not get your coat.
A lot of boys wanted to get their girls some fur coats, you know, so I mean, it was free.
The bar was always on tilt at the tunnel.
You might get fake alcohol. Bartenders might have got counterfeit.
The dance floor is always rocking.
It looked like a video all the time.
The tunnel had a very unique situation at the bathroom. It was co-ed.
The bathroom was Sodom and Gomorrah.
I was like this, trying to look past the dudes like when they was going in the urinal.
The tunnel was a one-stop shop. They had food, they had alcohol, drugs.
I saw weed the tunnel. It was just oozing money.
Backstage is like the club amongst the club.
That's where all the so-called stars who was scary to be in the crowd, that's where they hung out at.
The dopest things about the tunnel for me to remember is hearing my records get played up in there.
The top maybe of all-time tunnel banger.
Or anything Bad Boy.
Every Biggie record, any shit by Hov.
Shook Ones was bananas in there.
Nori could perform that Bang Bang.
Annie Up.
Any one of Busta joints. Wild Out would actually start a fight.
The best performance I ever seen, Jay-Z performed in front of the DJ booth. The DJ booth was bouncing like a ball.
Snoop and Dre. When Dre was there.
DMX, Get At Me, Dog.
The king of the tunnel was Jay-Z.
Busta Rhymes.
DMX is the king.
Queen of the Tunnel.
Mary J. Blige.
Foxy and Lil Kim. Eve.
King of the tunnel record label-wise was Def Jam.
Bad Boy.
The best DJ at the tunnel was Flex.
Big Cap, all day. Flex used to break off the records, but he used to try to bully Cap, like, don't spin this, because when I get here, I want to spin it. No, nigga, fuck wrong with you?
What the tunnel did for artists, it solidified their street music.
That gave us a platform, set up Rough Riders, Rockefeller, Bad Boy, slew of other artists.
The closing of the tunnel, it was kind of sad because that was a big piece of hip-hop.
So losing the tunnel was like a little kid losing Disney.
A famous mosque closing down.
I think when the tunnel closed, it was necessary. Niggas was coming to missing.
When you hear people of the late 70s talked about Studio 54, the tunnel was the Studio 54 of hip-hop.
Joke, no joke. Yeah. It's joke, no joke. Let's go. Joke, no joke. Jigga joke, no joke. Joke, no joke. Niggas joke, no joke.